Yes, they look pretty good. Dak fools you. Rushed for over 170 yards. Averaged over 6 yards a rush. Had the ball for 33 minutes. Yes, Dak can look really good when he's got the formula. Never forget, Tim Tebow won 6 straight. Great defense, great running game, great kicker, score in the teens. There are formulas. Average quarterbacks who you don't want to pay a lot need a formula to win. Dak needs Zeke to run wild. He needs the offense to be controlling the clock. He needs 2nd and 4, 3rd and 1 for the play action to work. He needs to play with the lead. The weather has to be better than average, or at least not chaotic. And he's got to have his defense playing well so he doesn't get in a shootout. Yes, that's when Dak can win. That's how Tebow won 6 straight games, how Mark Sanchez got to the AFC Championship twice. But franchise quarterbacks that you want to pay $150 million don't need a formula. They just need the ball and a little help. Okay, because you're going to get in shootouts in this league. If you got Dak for the next 5 years, Steelers, Patriots, Rams, Chiefs, Chargers, you're watching those teams this year. The rules are all going offense. All of them. And I love Dallas's front 7 defensively. I love their players. They're really, really good. But those players, the Bears players, all the great defenses in the league can't stop anybody now. Once you face a great quarterback, right now Dallas is on a sugar high because the formula was perfect. It's amazing how often, I understand fans getting fooled. But is Jerry Jones being fooled by this? I mean, Andy Dalton, when he had the defense, when he had all the good receivers, he won a bunch of games, won a division. Baker Mayfield yesterday only threw 20 times, played with a lead, played a bad defense, had a great running support. Yes, a lot of guys in this league can win when the formula is perfect. Carson Wentz last night didn't have a Pro Bowl right tackle. Smallwood's their best running back. Jordan Matthews is a go-to receiver. He just got cut by the Patriots, and their defensive secondary is a nightmare, so he's playing from behind the whole game, and the Cowboys linebackers are much better athletes than the running backs behind them. That's what a franchise quarterback looks like. Carson Wentz last night playing from behind with a beat-up defense, not getting support from his own line. That's what a franchise quarterback looks like, even though he lost. But I saw this with Oklahoma City. Westbrook wins the MVP. Sugar high, sign him to a long-term deal. Then you're left with Westbrook. This is what the Buffalo Bills do every September when their quarterback plays well. Sign him to a long-term contract. Yeah, then you're left with Ryan Fitzpatrick with an expensive long-term contract. The sugar high is always followed by a crash. It's always followed by a crash. And the gap last night between Wentz and Dak is huge. Give Dak playing from behind. Give Dak Smallwood. Give Dak Jordan Matthews. Give Dak a secondary like Phillies. If you go to Dak Prescott's career, he's had about 10 nights or afternoons. We've gone, wow, franchise guy. And all 10, it's been the same formula. It's not shootouts. No, it's Zeke is controlling the clock. Zeke's running for 125 yards. 2nd and 4, 3rd and 1. Go look at his great games. Look at his great passer ratings. Zeke's having a game. Zeke's controlling the clock. The play-action pass works. But all last night really did, if you're a Cowboy fan, all it did is guarantee that Jerry Jones flew back to Dallas on his private jet with Stephen Jones and the whole family, and he was telling everybody, I told you, Dak's the guy. Just outdueled Carson Wentz. Went to Philadelphia, beat a rival. Dak Prescott's our guy. Nah, he needs a formula. Last night, the formula was perfect. Carson Wentz was the only quarterback on that field you want to spend over $100 million on. Let me shift gears to this. Now, I did say on Friday, I don't do this very much, and there are micro topics on this show, small ones, and macro topics, big one. I would call micro topics predicting games. Macro topics, how does it affect the season and the franchise? I predicted on Friday, Eagle blowout. On a micro level, I was wrong. But on a macro level, I told you after the Super Bowl with Philadelphia, they're going to come back. and I see this time and time again. I call it the lottery winner syndrome in sports. When people who are not used to wealth, not used to celebrity, not used to having an unending stream of parades and cash, get it? They don't know what to do with it. Jacksonville, Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers, Philadelphia Eagles, they're not used to getting to Super Bowls. They're not used to getting to Super Bowls, and they're not used to winning Super Bowls. And once they win Super Bowls, they're flexing. They're flexing on social media. They're writing books. They're getting endorsements. They're getting shoe deals. In Philadelphia, off a bye. That was it. And you saw it last night. And since you're not used to winning Philadelphia, this is how it works. You're now 21st in the NFL in points with Carson Wentz. Here's how it works. You win a Super Bowl or get to a Super Bowl, and you lose a couple of really good assistants and a couple of maybe coordinators. Oh, yeah, ask New England. They have. So you lost Frank Wright, John, the other coach, Don DeFilippo. Yeah. So you lose a couple of assistants, really good coaches. They leave. Uh-oh. And then you lose a couple of players. Somebody overpays for your Super Bowl players. And then you have a first-place schedule, and you become a target. And you kind of lose your edge. Players don't work out quite as hard in the offseason. And what you get is this. 4-5, headed to the Superdome to take on the Saints. Good luck with that. When cities and franchises that aren't used to winning big suddenly win big, it's the lottery syndrome. Oh, crap. Do I buy 4 homes or 5? Do I buy another sports car, a third boat, more skis, jet skis? And then you wake up one morning and you're like, ooh, I blew it. New England, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, they're used to winning. Andy Reid wins every year. Drew Brees. You just don't see the roller coasters with those teams and those players. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he's been winning. You know, he was winning on the bench with Favre, and he's winning now. Aaron Rodgers doesn't give you this, and Brady doesn't give you this, and Andy Reid doesn't give you this, because they're used to winning. Somebody told me this years ago. It may have been Trent Dilfer had a line. He said, everybody in athletics treats losing the same. They get pissed and they work twice as hard. But everybody does not act the same after winning. Winning's different. Winning gives you attention. Winning gives you money. Winning gives you endorsements. Everybody wants a selfie. Everybody wants an autograph. And some people can't handle it. And when you haven't won and you suddenly are the talk of the town, oh my, you're buying a third boat, a 16th pair of shoes, another suit, and you don't wear the ones you have. Last night, I thought I was wrong on a micro level. I thought Philly off a bye. Here we go. Nah, here we go. Jacksonville gave themselves a nickname, Saxonville. They were good for an hour. New England doesn't have a nickname. Pittsburgh, they're just the Steelers. They're not the Saxonville Steelers. They're just the Steelers, and they're just the Patriots, and he's just Andy Reid, and he's not storming Drew Brees. It's just Drew Brees, and that's how winners do it. They're used to winning. They don't need jet skis to make them happy. By the way, more bad news for the Philadelphia Eagles. Really, really bad news. An excellent player for them, Ronald Darby, a cornerback. Not like the Eagles haven't had enough secondary injuries. It's unbelievable. He's out for the season, torn ACL. 4-5, headed to the Superdome. I'm just going to go with my gut feeling on this. It won't be super. Coming up next, what to make of New England's loss. I mean, you watch that game, it really wasn't very close. It wasn't very competitive. The Titans, a team that nobody ever can trust, right? They look great. That and where Colin was right, where Colin was wrong on a Monday is 45 minutes away. Well, you know, there is nothing quite like a hug to make you feel good, right? Well, As we get into November and the weather worsens and it gets wet, there's nothing like a hug from Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. Listen, the engineers have worked hard to develop the perfect blades. And as we get into the wettest, stormiest, snowiest weather of the year, you want the wiper blades that hug your windshield like the Michelin tires hug the road. You can get them at Walmart, Pep Boys, Amazon, and other fine retailers. You're going to deal with a light drizzle in most of the country almost every day for the next 4 months. Snow, rain,